A bottom nation, what's up? I am not in my apartment right now. I'm in the green room in Columbus, Ohio, because I'm on fucking tour, okay? I'm coming to Pittsburgh. I'm going out to Irvine, California. I'm going to Madison, Wisconsin, and we've got more dates that we're adding all the time. So go to ashleyevin.com, get on the text list. And if you'd like to support my special, my comedy special that's coming out, head on over to patreon.com/WHGS. We've got tons of bonus content there. I just uploaded some new stand-up comedy there. We got bonus episodes of the podcast, yada, yada, yada. It's fantastic. And it really helps me. It pays everybody on the team. We have a team, 4 staff members on the team, plus my new podcast host, Maddie. She is going to be staying permanently. They are so funny. We'll have Bree back on from time to time, but I know you've been begging for more Maddie, and we just found out that they're going to stay, and I'm so excited about that. But on this episode, we have Breanne Williamson co-hosting, my chancellor, and I'm so excited. I finally got her. You've been begging. Jade Fox, huge YouTuber, style YouTuber, but also so funny. And I found out that she did stand-up comedy at one point. We talk about that a little bit. We also talk about her straight experiments in high school. It's a really fun episode. Just a great vibe all around, because frankly, all three of us are really just very funny and clever on this episode. It's a really good time. And I'm so glad that she came on. It's not one to miss. All right, have a great week, guys. Listener, sometimes it's hard to fall asleep at night because you're stressed out, you're anxious, and there's really only one way to get the relief that you need. You know what I'm talking about. It's a little bean time or a little ween time for some of you guys. And that's why I love that I've partnered with Dipsea. Dipsea is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by people like you for people like you. They bring to life scenarios with immersive soundscapes and characters, no matter who you're into or what turns you on. Find stories about that intriguing coworker with a British accent, or hooking up with your hot yoga instructor, or how about that queer from across the bar with the blue hair and the septum ring? Okay, I don't know if they have that one, but they have such a wide variety of options for you guys. I know you're going to find something for you. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/gay. That's 30 days full of access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/gay. That's dipseastories.com/gay. Go check it out, listeners. Listener, what's the worst thing about your underwear? Is it that it's uncomfy for your bottom and your undercarriage? Or is it that it's uncomfy for your soul and your being and how you see yourself, like your gender and your personality? Because that's what I really hate about most underwear companies. I just don't feel sexy as me in them. Well, Tomboy X changed the game for me. They created underwear that makes me feel like this underwear doesn't just fit me. It gets me. You know what I'm saying? It understands who I am. Since 2014, Tomboy X has been making brazenly unapologetic underwear for all bodies, all shapes, all genders, and all sizes. Yes, really all sizes. They've got boxer briefs, bikinis, bras, everything you need. They've even expanded beyond underwear too, to other types of like loungewear and sleepwear and stuff like that. Wherever you fall on the size, shape, or this is me spectrum, Tomboy X is the underwear your body will love. And with their love at first wear guarantee, you can order risk-free while you find your perfect fit. Discover your inner tomboy. And let me get you started with my special discount. Go to tomboyx.com and enter code GAY to get an extra 20% off. That's an extra 20% off when you enter GAY at tomboyx.com. Tomboyx.com. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
I came out like maybe the day after I realized I was gay. And then I came out again to my parents when I was 19.
Were they cool?
It wasn't dramatic enough for me. Like my dad was like, oh yeah, I already knew. I was like, shut up. And then my mom, she took that time to give me the sex talk, but she was not correct about any of the information. She was like, okay, now AIDS, it's going to be closer to you now. I was like, I don't
think. We are not in the apartment. Jade, we just start whenever. It's chaos. There's no format. We'll probably put the stand-up in. I don't fucking know. We just like to have a good time. We are not in the apartment. We are in the Milwaukee hotel room, and we are having gay sex. And this week, we are having gay sex with long-time requested, very stylish,
Yes.
too cool to be on my podcast, to be perfectly honest. Jade Fox.
Hey.
Pew, 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 pew. No soundboard today. Thanks for being here, Jade. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Can I say something earnest and vulnerable?
Yes.
I bought a suit a few weeks ago.
Nice.
And I watched your suit video on the recommendation of one of my podcast listeners.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Did you get what you needed from it? Do you like your suit?
Yeah, actually, I did. I really like the way I look. I guarantee it.
Nice.
But that's a Men's Warehouse. I don't know if anyone got that reference.
I was going to ask if that's
Alex,
where you got it
did you
from.
get it? No, I did not get it from. I did not get it from Men's Warehouse. I actually got it. I got it from like a medium fancy place, and I had it tailored. And I remember you talking about the wrist bone and the sleeve and everything. Yeah. And I felt good, and it was like one of those moments where I thought, oh my God, as a gay person, I've never felt good in formal wear until this moment today. I mean, I'm 34 years old. Isn't that crazy?
I'm glad that you had that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a cool experience. I will say Jade's content helps me big time because personally, I a lot of time like to dress more masculine. However, I have a big rack. Like my boobs are out of this fucking world. It's to the point that sometimes like on the occasion I bring them out, my friends are like, holy fuck, where have those things been?
I will say, very masculine of you to call them a big rack. That was the very dad way of referring to your titties. I will say that.
Yes. I feel like I don't like really, I don't know, they're like a different part of me. Like I don't really like associate with my boobs like they're my own in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And
I feel that.
I feel the same way. I feel like because I'm black, they're just titties, and that's all I can call them. The shape and color, it's titty-ish. I don't know if there's another word to use for it.
What shape and color is boobie? And then we're doing like an aura. This sounds like someone who Bird Sage would have this discussion. Like, what color is the aura of your boobie?
Oh,
are you asking me?
Yes.
Well, just
what the
because
aura of your titties are.
We're working with these deep, rich jewel tones, kind of give you like a nice purple, purple, dark areola moment, just feelings that of tranquility. I like to believe.
Nice.
I'm imagining one of those giant sphere-shaped like fountains that you sometimes see at a park.
Yes.
And then the water comes out and you're like, who made this?
Yes.
Who's lactating? What are you doing?
Boy?
My areolas are just
you know
halos
what I mean?
for my titties. They're just really close to them.
I feel like
that is peaceful and spiritual and tranquil.
mine are the opposite. I feel like of tranquil. Mine are just like chaotic, wild. They're always getting in the way. I'm trying to fucking get them out of here, and they're always just popping up. So Jade's content is very helpful for that. If you're out there and you have big titties or a big rack, but you prefer to dress more masculine, check out that content.
I have medium. I like when they're smaller because mine they are the first place where when I gain weight, they get bigger. Or if I'm like on my period, that's the first place my weight goes. And I think for a lot of women, they would love that. But for me, I like them when they're a little bit smaller. And I'm not a huge fan of my tits. The way that I would describe my tits personality is like a 65-year-old Jewish man in the entertainment business in New York. Like they have a vibe of very much like, I've seen it all, kid. Like that. That's how I would describe my tits.
I don't know why. I just picture them being dry.
They're dry.
They're definitely dry.
It's actually when I'm getting my eggs frozen and my doctor said, listen, it's powdered in there, so you're gonna have to find a nurse.
It's like freeze-dried banana slices.
Yes, that's actually what my areola is. Delicious, honestly.
I love it.
Well, this is good. Solid banter up top. I like when it's just easy. Jade, not everyone is easy. This is another thing I do on the podcast. I shit on all the other guests that we've had.
Yes.
And then I pretend that they'll never find out about it, even though it's like super easy. But I'm not actually shitting on them.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easier to talk to some people than others.
Yeah, I've learned that here in Portland, it's hard to talk to people because as soon as they see me, they think I want to talk about what's everything wrong in the world and racism. And I'm like, no, I'm just black and I'm just here in this grocery store trying to buy some fucking pineapple. It's like everything has to it's almost like for people to talk to me and feel like like I got something out of it, they need to like round it back to like social justice. And I'm like, no, girl.
So exhausting.
You are in Portland. So yeah, that is kind of I would say the capital of white guilt.
It's the epicenter of mismatch earrings.
Is that a white guilt thing? Mismatch earrings? I don't even have.
When I just think of like white queer culture, I just think of mismatch earrings.
That's so true. You
And
see them come in, and it's just like, oh,
One's
we're about to have a
dangling.
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that is true. I see that a lot at Sunday school, my show in New York. I do see a lot of like one massive earring and then like another little tiny one. But people are upset in Portland. They're very sad.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I think they're looking I would guess that when that happens, they're looking for you to uplift them would be my
I
guess.
think they see me and they're like, progress.
Oh, God.
I think they see me and they're like, hey guys, look around. Things are changing. Things are changing.
There's a black woman at the grocery store.
Progress.
Let me talk to her.
Isn't that crazy that she has the money to buy groceries? What a great time we live in.
Yes.
God.
Yes. It's very that. There's a lot of signs outside of places that are like, we stand with the black community. And honestly, it's like, if it's like a shoe repair place, like I don't care.
No, I'm sure you're like, thank God.
Yeah, it's like I'm not bringing my Jordan 4s into this like 1950s style shoe repair place.
That's so funny though, because sometimes when you book a hotel, it'll say LGBTQ friendly. And it's not until that moment that I'm actually worried about the hotel not being LGBTQ friendly.
Yes.
It almost has the reversed effect. Like, it's like, should I feel unsafe about going to a shoe cobbler? I didn't even have the thought.
Exactly. And then it's just like
To
a
feel.
sort of reminder that danger's all around.
Look out. Not here, but generally.
Oh, fuck. Not here.
Here's good.
It's all around.
But in general, though.
It does feel like it's like performative or whatever. I mean, I guess, I don't know. What happens at the LGBTQ friendly hotel? Someone calls you the F word and you can run to the receptionist and be like, can I get bonus points?
I'll tell you what happens. They don't give you 2 queen beds when you book with 2 feminine names. They give you 1 king as requested. As requested.
This is actually a great philosophical question. When you go on a vacation with a significant other, do you want a king bed situation or a queen bed situation? Discuss. Bree, go.
I would like the king bed because usually if you get the king bed, then there's also some sort of seating area to make up for the space in the room, which I find nice. I like that, especially if I'm on vacation. Then I can sit there and have a drink, not sitting on my bed.
Jade?
I fuck with the 2 beds because I like space. Also, if you're planning to have sex in that hotel room, I've noticed that the bed is always closer to the wall when there's 2 beds in there. Therefore, utilizing that little space between the wall and the
corner.
bed.
For leverage.
For leverage, just support, even. Sometimes if you just get scared and don't want to see the door and you're there by yourself.
That's true. I could go either way because as a person who sometimes wants my own bed, like let's say I'm having hip pain because I'm ancient. The queen bed is great to hop into for a pain situation.
Have you ever had the 2 beds and then you went in with the assumption that you both will be sleeping in a separate bed and then you had to have the conversation that she wants to sleep in the same bed?
I have not. I think if I ever told a woman on the way into a hotel room that we would be sleeping in different beds, I would be immediately executed.
Fair.
Don't you feel like that's a great way to get into an argument with someone? By the way,
I booked us 2 beds so that you can be as far as possible from me.
Because girls, like, sometimes I find myself talking about women as if I am not one. I'm like, women, they want to cuddle. They always want a spoon. Give me some space.
As if you are the most needy fucking lesbian I've ever talked to.
You can call me.
You're like, love me. You thought I paused because I didn't want to say
What's the difference?
It felt like you might not want to say.
I was like, duh, lesbian.
What'd you say,
Is
Jade?
there a difference? What is the big difference between, what's the vibe check between and lesbian?
I think the vibe check is whether or not you want to go to the Harley Davidson Museum in Wisconsin.
Or in Ashley's case, if she would just like to go to, what were you going to go to? The nature fucking exhibit?
Can't you just go outside?
Thank you. What was that?
I was gonna go. There's like kayaking in the city of Milwaukee. You can kayak the Milwaukee River.
Okay.
That's some white shit right
City
there.
kayaking, urban kayaking, or whatever.
This was like part of the reason why I could, like, if I wasn't in a relationship, I honestly, I don't know what I would have done trying to date here, because everyone likes to do outdoor stuff. I mean, that's why they live here in
Yes.
Portland. It's green,
Yes. And it's beautiful.
hiking, super beautiful. But I don't want to do any of that shit.
Yeah, me
None of
neither.
it.
Really?
I'm
Not even a little bit? I like it. I enjoy it. But not too much because of my hip.
Oh God. Fuck.
I can do like a little baby hike, you know what I mean? Like a hike that lasts
Yeah,
about like
yeah.
12 minutes and then it's over and we get
That's me. I'm like it shouldn't take hours and hours. We should probably introduce ourselves.
fair.
We're at that time.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I said, we're in the Milwaukee hotel room. We're having gay sex with Jade Fox today. Yeah. And Jade, I think one of my listeners is responsible for this, because what happens when I can't reach someone, I start to say to the listeners, well, why don't you try and get them? Because I'm not doing a good enough job. And I think someone commented, and that's how we got your attention.
You had a few people commenting. You've got people on the ground pulling up the bootstraps for this fucking
Street
podcast.
team. That's it's the Bottom Nation street team. That's
dead ass.
That's what we've got.
I think it was just like I got one, and then this was also around the time where like a lot of white lesbians were trying to get me on their podcast, and so I'm gonna be honest. I had my reservations.
Some trauma.
There was some trauma. I needed to heal from that. I needed to heal from last year.
I didn't know about this, Jade, until a few days ago. Just FYI.
Yeah.
When I reached out, we started the podcast in
Ashley's
April
different than the
2020.
rest of the white
I'm
lesbians.
not
Don't
like
worry,
them.
Jade.
You don't understand. I'm one of the good ones.
Oh,
No.
God.
But I totally understand that probably in the month of June you had like 4,000 interview requests.
Yeah. And I may have judged you, and I apologize for that, because this is a cool vibe.
No, you can judge.
Well-
we're just at the
well-
beginning. Just wait. It gets worse from here.
I will say it's not a cool vibe. It's a neurotic, high anxiety vibe.
Can I just say, Ash, the idea, I don't know why I now have this fixated in my mind. The idea of you in a kayak going down a city river gives me the
Not
biggest ick. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, the idea of you just like there with your fucking
What
paddle.
about me in a life jacket? You don't like me in a life jacket?
It's not really the life jacket. It's just you, like, something about the kayak movement, and then you like
The
looking around
sportsmanship.
at the sights. Like, it's just too much.
I'm a dweeb, and I'm going to have a rash guard on and a bucket hat
As you should.
because I'm not getting sunburned.
Okay.
You need to have like the strip of do people actually do that in real life? The strip of like sunscreen, like
Yeah, the zinc. I love the zinc. I fuck with zinc.
like the mineral zinc?
I like it when they had the colors. I don't know what it is, but you can get it in like purple.
lit.
Anyway, we introduce ourselves in this format. Jade, copy it. Basically, it's whatever you want the people at home to know about you.
Okay.
Ashley Gavin, cis gay, white woman, she, her pronouns. God, I say that so fast now, it does feel like one word. And, the tour dates, the Patreon, those are very helpful things. Please indulge yourself in my website today. And then, oh, fuck, I don't have a rhyme. Fuck, shit.
Oh my God.
Hold on, let's see if I can improvise it. Canada, across the border. We've done geese, we've done moose, something with maple syrup. What else? What else is going on?
Not much. Honestly, that's all we do up here. Just geese,
Yeah.
moose, and maple syrup. So I don't really have anything
Some
else.
kind of hockey thing, perhaps a hockey slap shot.
This is really
this-
fun being part of this. This is
Are y'all rapping?
no.
No, God, no. I can see why that may have been interpreted as horrible slam poetry. Canadian slam poetry. Just me being like maple syrup, slapshot hockey, Canada, up north. I feel.
Ash always gives me some sort of poem at the start.
I do like a rhyme or a riff or like a funny pun.
Gotcha.
But I'm just like exploring the Canadian word space to try and figure out.
I'm so happy to be part of this brainstorming process. This is great.
Flannel.
I'm wearing a flannel.
Flannel's on my mantle.
Flannel.
Oh.
Next to my antlers and my sandals.
Okay, Jade did it for me. The chancellor to keep me from getting canceled. Breanne Williamson, everybody.
Hello. I'm Breanne Williamson.
Bree, do you even want to do this anymore? Just be honest with me. You don't have to do this.
This is great. It was quite the buildup. Like, you know, it was, you were edging me for a while there. I'm Breanne Williamson. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a lesbian. You can find me anywhere at Breanne Williamson or at I Can Explain Podcast.
Oh, yes. Go watch Bree's podcast. It's probably better than this one. And then our guest, huge YouTuber, content creator, very funny, a lot of content on style, Jade Fox. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Jade Fox. I've been making stuff online for a long time for gay people to laugh at other gay people. And I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere, baby. Google me, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. But I don't really be talking that much. I just be talking shit on my TikTok. I'm at the point in my content creator life where I'm caring less about things, but I made a lot of stuff and it's all really good. So you should check it out.
It is.
It's very high quality and you're very respected. Mm-hmm. Like everyone that I've had on like really respects your work. I'll say that. And that's definitely something as a comedian. I'm like, oh yeah.
I get no respect.
Is that a thing in the content? What's that?
I thought you were about to say, like, as a comedian, I get no respect.
Oh, I get no respect. My wife.
Oh, God.
But I don't know. I don't feel in comedy there's like a reverence for people that are like professional and really good at their jobs. I don't necessarily get that when I'm talking to content creators. I never get that vibe.
What do you mean?
It's on the one hand, people are really eager to collaborate, which I love. Like, I love that people like want to work with other people. But on the other hand, it feels like it might just be about followers and views, you know?
Yeah. You know what? It's weird because when I started creating content, like if you're a content creator, like that was fucking weird. Like it was like you're like, it's a weird thing that you're doing. It's not a real job. What is that even about? To seeing now how people are like just fighting tooth and nail to become content creators. I'm like, y'all, you can just start. Like, this is not a job that anyone has ever asked anyone to do. Like, you can just do it.
Yeah.
You can just start.
You don't have to be booked to do this job. You just go.
Clearly.
I will say agents and right, exactly. This is what is this? And you know what? Especially in the gay content creator space, just do it because people are just lapping this shit up. They need it. There's not a lot of it. But I will say, like, because with comedy, it's almost like there's a vibe of selling out. Like, there are people that are really good at the craft and they're deeply respected by comedians almost because they've never made it. And they're just epically good comedians that no one's ever heard of or very few people have ever heard of. And there's almost like a deeper respect for that.
People are so fucking weird. Like liking people not being successful. Like, what is that?
I know. It's so
it's
bizarre.
So odd.
It's the opposite of the content creator. So there's Jade, honestly, and I hope I don't sound like I'm sucking your dick, but you're like really one of the only content creators that like I've heard people are like, oh yeah, her stuff is great. Like people say that about you.
High
just
quality.
So that you know that.
Thanks.
Whereas Bree and I
just a shit show.
We get dragged every day.
No one's fucking safe. I'm just like shit posting 24/7.
Well, and like it's not a craft for me in the same way that it is for you guys. I really did this because comedy is my craft, and I didn't know how to get people to buy tickets, and this has worked. Whatever. Let's talk about gay sex. Okay, so my story today is not great.
Oh,
but
I love when she says that. So now we're just disappointed from the start.
They're almost better when I say that up front because it puts the pressure on you guys to come up with funny riffs to make it work. And sometimes the best stories that I bring to this aren't the best in delivery. You know what I mean? Like it's really you never know. You just never know. But today's story, I'm going to talk about a topic that I think everyone has experienced.
Okay.
Queer longing and deep simp behavior.
Okay.
Because I have alluded to my first high school girlfriend. Let's give her a name. Jade, my first high school girlfriend, went on to get a PhD from Harvard in an ancient dead language. She's a fucking genius.
Tight.
What do you name that woman?
Let's name her Wanda, but
Wanda.
Juana.
Wanda.
But pronounced Wanda.
Yes.
Got it. That's actually her name. I don't know how you got
Is it
that.
really?
No, God, no.
That would be crazy.
That would be nuts. But I was deeply in love with Wanda starting at the end of 7th grade. When at 7th grade graduation, she wore a red sweater to school and curled her hair. And I swear to God, there was a wind machine somehow and it was slow motion. And I just was desperately in love with her ever since. And we secretly dated in 8th and 9th grade.
Oh.
And she broke my heart twice. This is the first girl I had sex with. I mean, like, I was just crazy about it. I was like, I also had that classic queer, tell me if you guys relate to this, that classic queer scarcity mindset where I was like, well, if it's not Wanda, I'm never going to find anyone else. And Wanda was so sweet to me. She would say things like, Ashley, as you get older, you're going to meet other women that like want to fuck women. I was like, what are you talking about?
Plot
Wanda?
twist, Wanda was actually your teacher.
As you grow up, Ashley.
I know, isn't it like so sage and wise?
I like how you're like, she was so sweet. And this is about the breakup conversation. Like, you're just thinking she's the kindest person because she told you that you will eventually f somebody else.
And I fully didn't believe it.
I love that y'all were like 12 having this conversation.
Yeah, like
I know.
what?
Isn't that nuts?
That is crazy.
But I really do think she was very smart and wise to say that to me. And maybe she identifies as straight. I only think she ever like kind of had one more fling with a woman, maybe in college. So maybe she was really viewing this as a straight.
Ash is still jealous over that additional fling, by the way.
I really am. I'm like, who the fuck was that bitch?
Do you think that she's counting this? And when she like thinks back to all her relationships, does she count this one or is this the ones that she like omits?
Good question.
I don't know.
I see your heart breaking. Like
Oh,
the
I
look
hit
in
a
your
nerve.
My heart is actively, because I've said this on the podcast before. Wow. That was a penetrating question. I might cry. So I've said this on the podcast. I cry all the time, Jade. I'm a huge crier.
Big fan
Breanne
of
knows
crying.
this because I bring Bree on. Before Bree was like a co-host, I would bring Bree on the episodes where I would just weep.
Every time I'd show up and she'd just be crying and I'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Like a breakup or whatever. And then I wouldn't tell Bree what was going on. Because I always wanted it to be fresh because I'm such a fucking maniac. Do you ever do that for content? Are you that type of creator?
I can't anymore because I embarrass myself way too fucking much. It's I had to pull the reins in a little bit when I'm like let me hold back my tears. Let me turn on my camera first and then talk about it. Like once I got to that point, I was like, oh girl, shit's dark. No.
Yeah.
Ash is literally booking me as a guest to be a live audience to react to her fucking tears. Like, Jesus Christ.
My life is so fucked up. Like normal people don't do this.
They don't.
No.
Anyway, she was my first. We had what I thought was sex, but at the time, she said that she lost her virginity like a year later to this guy.
Oh.
And I remember when I heard that, my heart, I was like, no.
No.
What?
That's just what she said. She went up to Wanda and she said, no.
You were fully writing in your diary about this like magical moment of firstness and discovery. And she's like, yeah, I just went over that bitch's house and whatever.
I mean, it was one of those moments where I was like, I don't know the answer to this. Like, you kind of lost your virginity twice. You know what I mean? Like,
you go and give her a PowerPoint presentation on how she lost it twice. No, you are wrong, and I'm going to tell you why.
When did you hear her say this?
Well, the thing is, we were all, yeah, I know it is. Isn't that, this is, well, that's the horrible thing about being a child, a gay child, because it's all your friends and you're closeted and you're at sleepovers and stuff. And you have to hear the woman you love tell her other friends how she had sex with some guy. Like, it's this heartbreaking. I don't think anyone's ever written a film that captures that moment, you know, of like, you thought you this girl first, and it turns out Brad did.
Like this being the most emotional, deep film concept of all time. This girl at a sleepover.
It is. No, it is deep.
I'm so sorry.
Don't tell me that's not deep.
No, it was me. I fucked her first.
Yeah,
what?
it was. And that matters.
Oh,
it matters to me.
Jesus.
This is like,
No, it's not that I fucked her first. It's that, oh, sorry, go, Jade.
I was just gonna say, this is like when you're like redoing your resume once every like 3 years, and like the jobs at the bottom that you had in high school that you're like, maybe it's time to just take those off. Those don't matter anymore. That's what she did to you.
Wanda's taking you off the resume.
She did.
She took you off the body
She was
resume.
like, this experience no longer matters. I'm in the straight field now.
Irrelevant.
I don't need these gay experiences. I can take fingering off my skills.
Middle school was a big time for fingering.
It was.
It was.
People loved a finger.
But anyway, I was desperately in love with this girl. During 10th grade, her parents were professors. And I think her father was doing a year in India. And so she went to India for a year. And I just...
Heartbreak.
I missed her I was just counting the days for Wanda to get back from India.
And this was back in like the 1700s. There's no way for you to contact.
It was. There was no way for me to. I mean, I was updating my Zanga regularly.
Not Zanga.
So she could read my Zanga.
Wow.
But when she got back, she was pretty adamant that she was not gay. This is the whole thing about early gay memories. Are you a creep? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, am I being too persistent in a creepy way? Or am I just in love with my best friend who is closeted and repressed? And you know what I mean? It's a weird, that's why I think a lot of gay people worry that we're predators, because we've been stereotyped as predators. And then also, you are kind of lying in wait for a weak moment from your straight friend.
Oh my God.
Well, my question to you is, as you were noticing all of these things, and as you were hearing all of these things, was there a moment where you like talked to her about any of this? Were you like, you know what, enough is enough, I'm gonna break the silence, and you were gonna like have that conversation? Or did you just like wait by the wayside and just saw your life pass you by?
Jade, I was the least closeted gay person who thought she was in the closet. Like, I actively was pursuing her. Like, would be like, hey, can I like buy you a snack after school? Oh, you want to go for a walk through the park?
Actively
Like,
pursuing. Snacks were purchased.
that's how you pursue. That's how you pursue in high school. You get snacks after school. What else is there? There's snacks after school.
That's true. Or a good step parent.
I feel like the question is like, why, like, did you actually have this conversation with Wanda? Like, did you actually say to her, like, this is breaking my heart? Like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I'm like in love with you. Like, she was like, I don't know what to tell you. But then we would like go on these emotional dates and never do anything physical until One night, we made a very bad decision to walk through Central Park together at midnight.
Okay.
Oh, you guys don't know?
No, we don't know.
You see a lot of like, there's like gay cruising going on and like also people like doing drugs. It's like not a good idea to go to Central Park in the middle of the night.
Especially when you're 14.
When you're like 15, 16. But I don't know what happened on that magical walk. But she was like, this is very romantic. And I was like, yeah.
Well, I gotta say, fuck Wanda, because she kind of just like played with your heart and, you know, wasted your time.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I did her after the walk through the park.
So it was all worth it in the end.
And here's the best part. I her in my bunk bed because I had a bunk bed. And she had her first orgasm as given to her from another person. So in the end.
Are you sure?
Come
or
on.
did she just think that's what she was supposed to do?
No, she... Are you suggesting that Wanda lied to me?
Well, I don't know. Wanda seems like the type that might have...
A user.
Yeah, might have just lied. Like, might have just thought that that's what you're supposed to do. A lot of young people do that during sex, right? They think they're supposed to be a climax.
Well, you guys want me to text her right now?
Yeah. Obviously.
One moment.
I do think that that's such a... I feel like I wish every queer kid was safe enough and felt comfortable enough to actively, loudly pursue their crushes. Because I gotta say, it gets rid of that fear of rejection early.
Yes.
Early.
Yes.
You get used to it.
Do you think that's why so many queer people are so... Because there's like, you don't want to look like a creep and women are scary. This is what I hear from a lot of young queer AFAB folks. They're so afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because we just haven't been trained in the ways of real rejection from people we genuinely like so much at a young age.
I just feel like in a heteronormative space, there's only the fear of them saying like, no, I'm not into dating you. But as soon as you're queer, there's the additional step of, are they even also queer and into me? So it makes it like a 2-tier approach.
You like out yourself, and then you embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Alex, this is the clip for TikTok. You out yourself and then you embarrass yourself. It's true. I don't know, but I never had that. For whatever reason, I never had that worry. I've just been like, it's a rejection either way. So I might as well go try and finger this straight one.
I'm putting my fingers in her. One thing or another.
If she says yes.
What is the deal with fingering?
That's a great question.
Is this what you did at the open mics? What's the deal with fingering? Fingering. It's crazy. It's all the rage. Fingering. What's the deal?
I remember it being and maybe it's because like that really awkward like period from, you know, middle school to high school, like maybe sex itself might be too like penetrative sex. Well, even though in a broader context, like maybe that's more intimidating. And so like fingering is like, ooh, this is the soft spot. This is where I'm at. But I remember being more intimidated by fingering than literally anything else because I didn't want to like knock something out of place. It's like Jenga.
Knock something out of place.
And listen, if you haven't seen a tumbled over
knocked all over the place. No, middle school, high school fingering was a different vibe too because people didn't know the approach. So you went from making out to like down the pants to just bang, 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 bang. Like
and it was never a soft fingering.
Never.
You never got like a nice, gentle.
No.
It was like, oh, that's your I'm going to break it. Like that's
no sensitivity. No, just one pace, one motion.
Yes.
For 12 minutes.
And then someone has to pretend that they aka Wanda.
Yeah. For I don't think she did because we had fingered before and she had never
Okay.
So for me,
I'm so sorry. I don't want to break
This
your
was,
heart
I
all
think-
over again. I'm so sorry. I'll give you this.
no, I think this was senior year, and man, like that was like probably the first time I had ever like felt victory. Like I fucking did it. I did this.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
entrepreneurial
and she
spirit.
still didn't want to be my girlfriend after that. So obviously,
Thanks and goodbye, said Wanda.
yeah, yeah. But that's my gay sex from this week. Listener, don't forget to support the Patreon, patreon.com/WHGS. That's how we pay Alex. He is a full-time employee of the podcast. We could not pay him on ads alone. Me also. This is full-time work, so please consider going and donating. And in return for those donations, you get bonus episodes, you get comped tickets when I'm in your city. You get extended, unfiltered, uncut episodes, weekly access to my Zoom stream of my show in New York, and lots of other stuff. Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, do not miss me when I'm in your city. I know you miss my TikToks and my Instagram posts, and sometimes you skip podcast episodes. I'm only in town once a year, so let me text you once a year when I'm in town. Or I can email you, ashleygavin.com. There's going to be 25 cities on this tour. Don't miss your city. Jade, did you have gay sex this week?
I didn't. My girlfriend's gone. I had gay sex with myself, but
Nice.
I actually have a story
Nice.
that is a middle school fingering story.
Beautiful. I love it.
So for some reason, every guy, and I mean every single guy, maybe with the exception of one, that I was interested in school is now gay, which I find hilarious.
Oh my God.
And so at the time, though, I was like messing with this one boy, and he came over to my house, and he was like a thick dude, right? He was a thick dude, and he had really big fingers. And this is back.
Oh shit! I've actually wondered about this my whole fucking life, so I'm
Yeah.
really glad.
It was.
I don't know why I haven't explicitly asked, but
Yeah, his fingers like had a length, a width, and a height. It was actually back
if you went to IKEA.com, you could get the dimensions of the fingers.
assembly instructions.
Huge.
Yes. And this was like back when Burger King was doing their chicken fries campaign. And so I remember distinctively thinking as he's like, and it was a dry ring. It was, it was like being
Obviously.
by a star. It was not,
Oh,
it was not, I actually don't even think he actually it inside of me. I think it was just the friction was just, it was like, it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, it was so like dramatic in the way that it happened. And then he left and I could just feel like the remaining pressure
Yeah.
in me. I thought I was
No.
pregnant. I was like, that was too dramatic. That was too much. That was too
Something
much of a
happened here.
sensation. He knocked some shit out.
Yes.
I'm sure. Knocked some shit out the
Yes.
wrong spot, I'm sure. And I really thought I was literally in the bathroom, like in my American Eagle jeans, like contemplating like what my next steps are going to be.
How do I be a young mom? I want to know, like, did you Google after this happened if you can
yeah,
get
that's
pregnant?
what my question was going to be. Can you get finger blasted pregnant?
I did. And I also Googled if you could get pregnant from pre, which you can.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get pregnant from pre.
Just takes one.
This girl didn't.
Love it.
Well, it also was. He would have to be real. He would have to have collected his
I
pre.
literally thought it just had to be in the room. I was like, if it's just around,
Right.
Yes. Just floating in the air.
it's gonna like, it's like contagious in that way. Like it's gonna make its way in my bloodstream somehow.
I have another question, because like women's fingers are AFAB, the little dainty little ladies.
Ukulele playing hands.
Are we all showing our hands
lady
now?
fingers. I look at some men's hands, and maybe this guy was like that, and I'm like, one of their fingers is two of my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everyone says for fingering, you got to go with two fingers. And it's like, I don't think that's true with men. I just really disagree.
I'm gonna say,
I don't know why I'm asking, like, we've got straight women in the room who have like a lot of data.
is there a correlation between like dick size and finger girth?
I don't know. Alex? No, based on your own experience. There's a saying.
Big feet.
Oh,
Big Big feet, big dick.
We should find this out. Listener, write in. Yes, Alex, please Google.
Skinny tall dudes have really fat
Yeah, they do.
Always?
for the most part.
Pretty well.
I never
Like that's like a
believed that.
fact for sure. If they're like really slender, it's like all of the energy that went to making them. If they're really slender, it just went all to their dick.
Yeah. That's where all their body
That's the
fat
science behind it?
is.
Yeah, that's official
it.
science.
But if they gained weight, it would be removed from the penis.
What?
Well, that would suck.
You see what I'm saying? Because like you're saying they have to be skinny, and skinny is not a. It's a skinny is.
No,
a
I'm talking about the people
changeable.
that are just inherently genetically skinny and tall.
that it's almost impossible for them to gain weight.
Yes, those people have big dicks.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have a co-host, Gara used to say about their boyfriend that he had, and he's tall and very skinny.
It's a thing.
That thing's flopping
So there
around
you
in
go. We have one example, and so that means it's definitely true. Wait, Jade, it's hard for me to imagine you having sex with men. I gotta be honest.
I never successfully did.
Okay. Because I was like, I thought you were going to be one of those lesbians that like just was never with a guy. That's the vibe that you have.
No, I was like actively trying to get chose by dudes back in the day. And I think it was just because, I mean, I was just an attention whore by nature. And I had like a cool vibe about me. And so I was like, oh yeah, guys would like me. And so I think like I wanted to have that experience to validate like me as a person. It was almost, I keep saying the word vibe check, but it was almost like, if I can achieve this, then I can achieve anything. I don't know why I thought that way. Also, there was just around this time there, everybody was obsessed with sex. And so I kind of wanted to know what it was all about. I was like, why is everybody like tripping over this thing? Why is everybody obsessed over this thing? And so I had a lot of attempts, but none of them were successful.
That in itself is a kind of a gay thought, because I sometimes, even today, am like, I wonder what, because I've never had sex with a guy. I do often from like an almost scientific, like inquisitive perspective. I'm like, I wonder what that would feel like. I wonder if that would be, if I could separate my attraction from it, I wonder if it could be a cool experience. But the fact that you're even like, what's this whole sex thing anyway? That's gay. Like, that's very gay. Because when you're attracted to a woman, that's not what you're thinking. You're like, I have to fuck her now. Like, that's what you're not like, what's this whole vagina thing about? You're like, I just need it. It's not, there's not even a thought in your brain.
I was a big pick-me girl, and I think the pick-me-girl to lesbian pipeline is very real.
It is.
Seriously. Because I didn't get it. I thought everyone was just like trying to do it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is like, everyone feels this way. This isn't like just a natural feeling of attraction. It's like, oh, everyone's trying to get these guys to like them. That's what we're supposed to do as women.
Yeah.
And that was totally my experience, in that I just thought every other girl felt that way, that like we were just playing a game of trying to get all the guys to like us.
No, they actually liked them.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
A little later, I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Let's back
They
this
were
up.
enjoying the experience. I remember for me, it was just like, I have got to find one that I do genuinely like. Like, that was my
Okay.
I was like, if I could just make one acceptable to my own taste and make him like me. That was the second step. The first step was finding one that I could possibly, I was hoping I'd end up bi. That's what I was hoping.
Right.
I was bi for a few months.
Me too. I identified as bi for a solid 6 months, I'd say.
I had a boyfriend and a girlfriend at the same time.
Oh.
Did they know?
Homegirl was poly, didn't even know it. Yeah, they knew. They knew. And the thing is, like,
both of them knew.
My boyfriend thought it was like, my girlfriend has a girlfriend. Like, that was him.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend, who I didn't really even like that much, I think I was more of just like into the optics of having a boyfriend and a girlfriend. That I was like,
you did need a lot of
I was
attention.
like, yeah, I'm into this. And no, she just wanted to be with me. But then I broke up with all of them.
Oh my God.
At the same time, was it a conference call?
3-way phone call.
Hey, I'm going to have to let you guys go. We don't have enough resources
Literally.
at the moment.
I should have.
What was the moment? When did you come out? I'm sure this is on your content, and I apologize if you've answered this question 400 times.
I came out like officially, like maybe the day after I realized I was gay at school. Like I came to
wow.
We had lunch and we're sitting at the table and I was like, hey y'all, I know I told you I was bi. Fuck all that. That's not the case anymore. Homegirl's gay now. And then I came out again to my parents when I was 19, strictly out of like convenience, because I just got tired of holding up lies. I was like, this is a lot. So I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I'm gay and I'm going to this girl's house and I don't want to lie to y'all anymore. And so that's why I told him.
Nice.
Well, were they cool?
You know, it wasn't dramatic enough for me. Like my dad was like, you know, oh yeah, I already knew. I was like, shut up. That's like the worst thing you could possibly say to someone who just came out to you. It's like,
make a choice: anger, sadness, happiness, something.
And now you're trying to one up me when on my coming out. Oh yeah, I already fucking knew. And then my mom, she was like, so you like really don't like men? I was like, girl, you don't even like men. So no. And she was like, and then she took that time to give me the sex talk, but she was not correct about any of the information. She was like, okay, now AIDS and HIV, it's going to be closer to you now. I was like, I don't think this is accurate.
I do like that she tried to take accountability, though, as a parent and responsibility. She was like, okay, well, I guess I have to do the sex talk and I'm going to just say what I know to be true.
It was just keywords. It was like a word cloud, just words.
And then
anything she's ever heard about gay people just gets thrown at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you're probably going to want to work at a Home Depot. And
she's like, you're going to want to wear like beanies for protection just every day. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jade. That was really funny and some vulnerability as well. Oh, listener, a little change in tone. Let's get romantic. Let's get sexy for this ad read, listeners. Don't you like my sexy, sexy voice? What's your summer fantasy? A whirlwind romance in Italy? Getting wet, dancing in a warm summer rainstorm? Or maybe an unexpected summer fling? No matter how you want to get steamy this season, Dipsea has a story for you to indulge all your fantasies. Okay, so what's Dipsea? I love it. I've been using it since before I even started the podcast. It's a fantastic app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed just for you. And there's so many great celebrity voices. They even have ER Fightmaster voicing some of this stuff. So if you want to go get that hot queer perspective, Dipsea is one of the only apps that can give you that. New content is released every week, so in between listening to your favorite stories again and again, you can always find something new to explore. And Dipsea also has sleep stories, wellness sessions, and now they even offer written stories if you're more of a written word type of queer. It's your go-to place to spice up your me time, explore your fantasies, or heat things up with a partner. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/gay. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/gay, dipseastories.com/gay. What a deal. Go check it out, listeners. Listener, we've all had a bad underwear experience, and I'm not talking about that time that I wet myself at camp. No, even worse than that. You've had underwear that doesn't make you feel euphoric in your gender or rides up in a weird way. You just don't feel sexy or yourself in it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if someone took the time to design underwear for people who don't usually fit the mold of traditional gender roles and stuff like that? Well, they did. It's Tomboy X. They created underwear that makes me feel like, yeah, this underwear doesn't just fit me. It gets me. It understands me. It's underwear that it doesn't ride up my ass, but it does get inside my soul. Does that make sense? They've got all kinds of products from boxer briefs to bikinis, boy shorts to bras. Every pair of Tomboy X is created to fit you and how you see yourself. And they've expanded beyond underwear too, like loungewear, sleepwear, tees, and tanks. Each product is built on values of quality, fit, and inclusivity. And they pay a ton of attention to every detail, like no back seams, because there's got to be a wedgie-free experience in your Tomboy X's. So it never rides up and it's super comfy. They've got smooth, silky waistbands that never roll down. Wherever you fall on the size, shape, or this is me spectrum, Tomboy X is the underwear your body will love. And with their love at first wear guarantee, you can order risk-free while you find your perfect fit. Discover your inner tomboy and let me get you started with my special discount. Go to tomboyx.com and enter code GAY to get an extra 20% off. That's an extra 20% off when you enter GAY at tomboyx.com. That's tomboyx.com. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Bree, did you have gay sex this week?
Okay, so I have an exciting update for myself and my ego. And that is that a while ago on this podcast, I talked about how I did a BDSM test online.
Yes.
And it gave me the rating of Michael Scott from The Office.
Yes.
Nice.
I lost sleep over this. I did not sleep for a week. I was traumatized, second guessing everything. My girlfriend was like, please stop like poking me with every object in the house just to prove that you're kinky.
I was about to say, you start trying to tie her up with random objects that you find around the house because you don't have anything kinky. Like you have no ropes appropriate for it. You're like hitting her with a book.
You're just stuffing grapes in her mouth.
Right, yeah.
Anything to prove that I'm not boring in bed and vanilla. Honestly, I was really triggered by this, and I, out of recommendation, did another BDSM test that wasn't just some stupid like Office character. I was like, I need a different result.
We were joking, Jade, that like she probably didn't take the right BDSM test because the result should not be Michael Scott. So I think that what she did was she accidentally took an Office themed like buzz quiz, test.
Yes.
Sexually, which Office character are you?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The thing seemed legit while I was taking it, and then it was just like, your results are Michael Scott. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Are you kidding me? So I took another BDSM test by recommendation by some friends of mine that was very thorough. It took me like a fucking hour to do, okay? Wow. And I got the results. Now, it does not tell me how kinky I am or what Office character I am, but it did tell me some interesting things. And I think this is where it went wrong on the first test. I've come to realize that I want the other person to be enthusiastically engaged. I'm looking for power bottom energy. Okay. So in the previous test, anytime it was like reluctance or like, in a sexual role play situation that they like are getting like embarrassed or they feel like they're being hurt physically or emotionally. I didn't like that.
Right, because the consent aspect of it is part of it.
It's too much for me. Even though it's role play and even though it is adults consenting to those BDSM experiences that some people enjoy, I can't take myself out of it. Like I can't.
It needs to feel joyful for you.
Yes, okay, so this is exactly it. So it told me on this test, my number 1 is dominant, whatever, boring. My number 2 is brat tamer, which I've come to realize a brat is when they pretend cheekily like they're not into it, like, but they're also letting you know they're into it.
Like egging you on.
You're tapping into a fucked up part of my brain, Bree.
So I'm very low on like things like masochist, sadist, degrader, things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm very high on like dominant, brat tamer, primal hunter.
I want to primal.
Wow.
I want to take this test. Can you send it to me?
Yes, I will.
Imagine you just like whatever that last one you just said was, the hunter gatherer, whatever one that was. Like you just
primal hunter.
Like you just walk up to a lake, you stick your tongue out and you're like, and you can like get a fish.
Go. Yes.
Like a bear.
I'm just grabbing fish out of the lake, finger blasting with one hand, grabbing berries with the other. It's all over the place.
Oh man, there's something about this that really taps into a fucked up part of my brain, because a fucked up part of my brain really likes a woman who is not nice to me.
Okay. So you are a degradee.
Yeah, you feel I can be, but like it's too real. Like it's too real. At the end of the day, I need someone who's really nice for a relationship.
So maybe you are the
Because
brat. You are the brat because you want them to be kind of mean, but not like mean enough that it like feels too real.
I have to take the test because all I know is when someone's a little bit mean to me, it triggers whatever fucked up relationship I have with my mom.
Your mom comes up a lot in this.
Mom,
This is a thing.
Bro, I have done so much therapy. I have been in therapy for way too long. I am way too Freudian and open about it. Because the reality is all of our relationships resemble our relationships with the people who taught us what relationships mean, which is our parents for most of us. And that's why for a long time I went after cunts.
Right.
Boom.
Okay.
I love that you call people cunts. I love that word so much.
I come from a long line of cunts, Jade.
I love that for you.
Do you think you're breaking the cycle or do you think you are also one?
I am.
You are. Okay.
I am.
That's good.
I am a cunt. However, I know I'm a cunt. I'm like in program for it. And I'm not going to pass along this problem to my children.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so what I'm basically like, when someone's like legit a little mean to me, it makes me horny in this very specific way where I'm like, don't get too close to that.
See, my thing is it's less of like being mean and more of just, you know how like you can have like a banter with someone that say on a base level is like self-deprecating or just like you're just being kind of mean to each other.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. Bree and me.
Yeah. It's that for me.
That I love, but then there's like a little bit of genuine meanness that I'm actually attracted to.
Ash is like, I'll see you there and I'll raise you genuine meanness. Bully me relentlessly.
No, for real. I got into earlier this year. I was in a thing with a woman who was like a kind of like a little bit mean to me. And I was like kind of falling for her. And I had to be like, stop. Like you are about to enter a relationship that similar to ones you've had before with people who are genuinely kind of mean to you. You have got to stop.
This is not going to be healthy. So let's pump the brakes now.
Do you think you could find like a nice person in general, but then you could release that in the bedroom? Like if they were mean to you in a role play situation in the bedroom?
Should I ask explicitly the girl that I've been regularly fucking to be a little mean to me and see?
You absolutely
I don't
should.
know if she's capable.
But that might be great because then that's the best of both worlds because it makes you horny in the bedroom, but then she's actually nice and it's healthy outside of the bedroom.
Yeah.
How did I turn your story into my story?
No, I love this. This is great. That was my story. That was my
apologize.
whole story.
And it was great. All right, that's homework for me. I'm going to take the quiz. And I see her on Sunday, so I'm going to ask her. I'm going to say, hey.
I love it.
How do you feel? I cannot wait to see how she reacts to that. She's not going to be able to do it.
I can't wait.
Just give her enough time. Like, don't do it in the moment.
Yeah.
Give her prep. So I should text her now.
Yep.
Let's see if Wanda didn't text me back.
Surprise.
Just FYI. I got Wanda, but you know what I said to her? I didn't go full force. I didn't text her, hey, can we talk about that time I made you come 17 years ago? But I said, hey, can I ask you a potentially weird question? Oh. It's a weird question. It's not potentially
She's like,
weird.
Ash, we've
weird.
gone different paths. Please stop messaging me. Please, God.
I'm back in India.
Seriously.
I'm in India to escape you. Well, Jade, thank you so much. You were a fantastic guest. I'd love if you came back because you were really, really funny, and I know everyone's going to love this. Also, when did you move to Portland? I thought you were in LA.
Long ass story short. I was in LA. My girlfriend moved back home to Oregon. Pandemic happened. My money got really fucking weird. And so I didn't want to re-sign my lease. I ended up moving to my girlfriend's family's house. That was a time. And then we moved here to Portland. And it was supposed to be temporary. And we're making it even more temporary because we got to get the fuck out of here. And so I've been here for like almost 2 years.
Wow.
You're like, too many white people are coming up to me at all the stores and it's
saying I'm welcome here.
It's too many haircuts in a day to digest.
Thank you for the emotional labor that you've done at this grocery store for us. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Well, where can people find you and keep up with you?
You can find me on YouTube. Just look up Jade Fox. I'll pop up if you go on YouTube and look up Made You Looks, all one word. That's my personal style fashion channel. Instagram, I am Jade Fox. TikTok, I am Jade Fox. Just look up Jade Fox, and you might find like some weird movie that pops up, but everything else is me.
Pay no mind to that movie. That was a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
I think it's like a pretty popular Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh.
Is there an actor named Jade Fox?
I think there's a character named Jade Fox. I've never ever looked into it because I'm the only Jade Fox I'm looking into.
I'm looking into it right now, and yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a character.
Yeah. Okay, well now we know. Not super exciting, but we did find out.
Yeah, we got there.
And then Bree, what do you want to plug? Butt plug.
You can find me everywhere at Breanne Williamson or my podcast at I Can Explain Podcast.
And then listen, you little piece of shit. I'm gonna need you to sign up for my text alert because I'm doing a special and I'm putting it on YouTube and I have to pay for it. So get on the text alert. I'll tell you when the special comes out, and go to patreon.com/WHGS to support the special. Okay, it really helps.
Yes.
Woo.
Thanks for listening. Patreon.com/WHGS to support this. We could not do this on ads. We'd be deep in the hole on ads alone. Okay, so go donate $1. You can donate as little as $1 a month. AshleyGavin.com for those upcoming tour dates to get a text from me. I'm going to Pittsburgh, Madison, Minneapolis, Irvine, and we're adding even more. It's looking like maybe Buffalo, maybe Rochester, maybe Albuquerque, of all places, Southern California, lots of cool stuff. And today, my gay thought, my gay thought this week is just gratitude. I'm navigating this new schedule and this new life, and I gotta be honest, it's been taxing on my body, on my brain, and this new level of like social media interaction. There has been a lot of, like some negativity, but there's also been so much positivity. So many of you have messaged me nice things in response to my newsletter. I write like a think piece basically every month in my newsletter. You can sign up at my website. And I wrote about doing a special on YouTube rather than trying to sell it to Netflix or HBO or anything like that, because they keep rejecting me. And some of you have written back some really, really nice things and really supported me in this. Truly, like, it wouldn't exist without you. And I'm just so, so grateful for your kind notes. They really go a long way. And I hope you guys come to these shows, and I hope you really open up and laugh and have a good time and just sharing this community that we've made together. I just really, really appreciate you, and wanted to take this week to let you know, like, I read them, the messages, I see them, and I'm just so thankful for you guys. All right. That was gay. That was gay, dude. That was so gay. Bro. That was gay, bro. That was fucking gay, bro.